everyone, and welcome to our Touchbase Thursday for June 3rd. How is it already June? I will never understand. Kind of crazy that it's June already. So just going to give it a couple minutes here for those of you able to watch me live to find me. Feel free to go ahead and comment and tell me hello, and then we'll get started here in just a couple of minutes. And I have some really fun things to share with you tonight, so I can't wait. Hi, Patty. Hi, Shireen. Hello, Denise. Welcome, welcome, ladies. So, I don't know about where you guys are at. I know so far my gals are all here in Michigan, but if you're joining me from other states, I'm not sure what your weather is like, but we have a beautiful day out here in Michigan today. A little on the warm side for me, but I'm always warm, so let me make sure I get my microphone here in the right spot so you guys can hear me. There we go. So anyway, welcome to all of you who are able to join me live tonight. I appreciate you taking the time out of your evening to do that. I know as spring and summer comes around, some of you do outside work and catch my replay, and I appreciate that as well. You can set it right on the chair, sweetie. Sorry, Natalie's getting the final touches ready for me. So anyway, hi to Shelby and Donna and Philomena. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate it. This is my, I always say when I have my hair up, it's my quick go to work in a hurry kind of hair day. But I love it. I've been putting my hair up a lot because it's so warm and it's quick and easy. And I like it and I get lots of compliments. So thank you so much. Hi to Debbie and Chris. And if I've missed any of you in between, I apologize. So anyway, lots of fun things to share with you tonight. I have a really fun easel card that I'm going to share with you. A really cute 3D project. So I know you guys know that I'm going to be talking about the hats off bundle. But I found a really cool project. Some awesome gumballs that look like softballs, baseballs. So we're going to make a cute project with those. Perfect timing as people are kind of getting close to the end of their baseball, softball type seasons. So excited to show you guys the product or the project that I made with them. Although now I've got tons of gumballs. I didn't realize when I bought the bag that it was quite that big. So yeah, that is going to be one of my little gifts. So anybody who puts in a minimum $30 order tonight will receive the Easel card already completed, the cute little 3D project, and then a couple of the other cards that I'll be sharing with you tonight. So anyway, because those gumballs got to go, or else I'll be chewing gum for I don't know how long. Anyway, a few things that have been going on in our house and announcements this week. Tomorrow is the last day of school for my girls, and it's just mind-blowing that I'll have two in high school next year. Natalie will be a senior next year. Claire will be a freshman. So for Natalie's last year of school, I will have both girls in the same school. So I'm really excited about that because that does not happen. Hasn't happened since they were, I think, in third grade and kindergarten. So it's Claire's first year they were in the same school, Natalie's last year that they're going to be in the same school. So that's kind of exciting, but also I'm like, one graduating. I'm just so not ready for that. But you know what? We'll make the best of it. So tomorrow's a half day of school for them and then they are done. But they have a job this summer. They're going to be babysitting for some friends of ours. They have two kids, and so they're going to be together kind of tag teaming, and sometimes they'll have to cover days by themselves due to camps and different things that they're going to. But really excited that they have something to do this summer instead of sitting at home and being on their computers or whatever, watching movies. So they can earn a little bit of money. It'll be good for them. So last weekend, you guys may have noticed that I was a little quiet on Facebook. I had my very first sleepover, or Chloe over for the weekend. She stayed with us for the weekend so that my son Matt and his wife Nicole could go to a truck show. He's got a show truck, and they finally were able to go to a show. And so we had her for the whole weekend, through Sunday night, so Friday through Sunday. And of course, Grandma felt horrible because she fell on our concrete, scraped her head, scraped her nose. She was bending over to pick up something, and she just went right down, and the concrete just scraped her really good. And I'm like, oh, of course that would happen on Grandma's watch. So she's got some war wounds on her, but she'll heal. So anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. So one of the big things that we have here at our house right now, And don't ask me how this happened because I don't know. But my girls have convinced my husband to allow them to get baby chickens. We have 10 chickens. Those of you that have experience with my rooster know we have all hens this time and we're building a coop. That's what my husband tells me anyway. But we have 10 chickens in my garage. And I already told my family that they need to be out of my garage because next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend's my Bogo Sale. And I'm not having baby chickens in my garage while we have the Bogo Sale. So anyway, we got 10 chickens today. The weirdest thing is they came through the mail. We ordered them on, well, the girls, I shouldn't say we. The girls ordered them through Tractor Supply. It's a local store here in our area, and they came through the mail. Like, they shipped out yesterday, and then the post office called me today, said they were in. My husband went and got them and has them all. Claudia's, I'm going to laugh out loud over this rooster, so I got to share the rooster story in a minute. But anyway, they're all in a pen. He already bought all the food and all the cute little things. So the story of the rooster, and I won't keep you guys long, but it's a cute one. Claire in her school, about 4 years ago maybe, they did a project where they actually had an incubator and hatched chickens, and then they were able to adopt them or take them home. And so she did the paperwork for us to bring 2 of them home. And we had a rooster. It was a hen and a rooster. The hen disappeared. We had this rooster, and I named him Jay, short for not a nice word, J-A, if you can kind of figure with that out, because he was horrible. He would chase my customers, chase my people when they would come. He was just not a nice rooster. I know that Denise, if she's still watching, has had an experience with him. Claudia, Kathy. Anyway, so, oh, Janet, don't tell me that. I'm hoping that they're all hens because, oh my goodness. Anyway, so, but we have chickens again. We have baby chickens, 10 of them. So anyway, we have chickens. So that's the other big thing for the week that we have. Anyway, just want to make sure you guys know my Bogo Sale. Any of you that have signed up, you'll be getting an email from me next week with the reminder of what time. I actually think my sign-up program sends a reminder for me, but if not, I'll be getting in touch with all of you that signed up to remind you what time you signed up to come. I know some of you were asking me that, so you'll get that from me this weekend or early next week, okay? It is June 11th and 12th for any of you that haven't signed up yet that would like to. And then my online sale begins on June 13th. So there's a Facebook group for anybody who is long distance, and I will be taking tons of pictures of all my things. And albums will be posting, I would say, either the evening of the 12th into the 13th, because we have to get them out there pretty fast, and I can only have so many stored on my phone before I have to upload them. So albums were uploaded. If there's something that you want, you just claim it. You just say want or put your email address in there. I have all the directions on the Facebook page, but basically you just comment that you want the item. When you're done shopping, you add up all of the things that you purchased, and then you put in an online order of that amount. So you basically get all the stuff that you've claimed in the albums for free. I ship that to you using priority shipping, and then I just will either PayPal invoice you the shipping cost, or if I see you, you can send, or if you have my address, want to send a check, whichever. But I do have to PayPal invoice or get it payment for the shipping of the retired stuff to you. So it's a pretty good, awesome deal. So be on the lookout for that to start. Let's see. We also have the last chance products. So the January through June catalog ends the end of this month. And they have some of the products in the catalog on clearance, or on, not clearance, on discount. Discounted prices from 50% off to 20% off. That went out in my, so most of you who are on my email list, you know, you get 2 emails a week from me. You get my Tuesday Tidings email, which is my newsletter, and then you get my free tutorials and classes on Fridays. So if you have not signed up for my email newsletter, I'll post a link in the description of the video, or you can just go to my website at kimsbasementbunch.com, and there's a sign-up form right there to join my mailing list. But I did post the document for you to be able to look at and see all the items that are on sale as well. Let's see here. What else have I got? Claire today got her second COVID vaccine shot, so please keep your fingers crossed that she has no side effects, because tomorrow is her last day of exams. So she came home and took a nap, but she's up and doing better now, so I'm hopeful that that will continue to be the trend. But we had that today, so I had to run her and get that taken care of. But with her she's going to the Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp, and so I'm really happy that we were able to get her in and get that done before she goes in August. So let me see here what else I've got. I'm looking at my list. Why don't we go ahead and talk about our sharing stuff? So most of you know, if you share the video, my video, you get into the drawing to receive prizes. And so I have 2 prizes that I showed last week and said we would draw the winner this week. It is the Pastel Pearls, and then it is the Artistry Blooms Sequins. So the winner of the Artistry Blooms Sequins is Kay Phipps. So Kay, I think you were new to my group in the last couple weeks, or my page. Please send me a private message with your address and I'll get those out to you. Now, just so you guys know, most of my mailings go out I get them already Wednesday nights, and then they go out on Thursdays. So sometimes if I have time on Friday, I'll get my Facebook Live winnings out, but it might be a week before you get them, because it's just I've kind of streamlined my mailing system and when I package things up, and so Wednesday nights is usually the night that anything that needs to go in the mail gets put out, and so just know that if it takes a little bit longer to get these, they're coming, but it might take a little bit longer. And then the winner of the Pastel Pearls is Sarah Nussel. So congratulations to Sarah and to Kay. And then we have up for grabs this week. I never know what to pull out of my bin. I have bins of embellishments and things. And so this week I chose the matte black dots and the champagne rhinestones. So those are the 2 items up for grabs this week to anyone who shares my video. So let me see here. I got to check my announcements, make sure I covered everything with you guys before we... Oh, I want to talk to you just a little bit about my classes, current classes that are open for registration. My Expressions in Ink class is... And then right now you can't even get some of the product for that. So, but I nabbed it right at the very beginning, one of my favorites. But my Expressions in Ink class is open. So is my Sweet as a Peach class. Now, Sweet as a Peach class is a Zoom class, so it'll be a class we'll do together. But if you're not able to do it together, I will send out a PDF and the Zoom recording afterwards. That class includes the stamp set, and you'll need a couple of ink pads, but I think I used only 2 or 3 colors on that. And then my bingo, my June bingo is June 16th. Kits will go out next week, so next Wednesday. So again, if you would like to do bingo and you haven't registered yet, you have about a week left to do so. So with that, the big thing for me in the next couple weeks is my Bogo Sale. It's a huge event, a great opportunity for you to get lots of awesome things that are slightly used or not used at all. Trust me, there are some stamp sets and things that I never even got to. So that is one of the things that I'm working hard to do going forward, is to make sure that I use the things that I purchase and intend to use for Facebook Lives and classes and so on and so forth. Okay, so with that, are you guys ready for some stamping fun? So because I had Chloe over the weekend, I whipped some projects together literally last night. And then I have some of the cards that I'm actually featuring this as a class. I have a class that's currently open. It closes soon though, so you'll see some of the projects from that class as well. So if you like this and you're interested in it, there is an option for you to be able to purchase the class. But there are, like I said, other projects that I just made last night, literally last night. All right, let's get going, everybody. So with that, I'm going to transition my camera down, and you'll get a sneak peek at some of my projects, and then we'll go through them, and I'll show you how fun they are to put together. Okay. So let me transition my camera down here. I'm hoping I have things centered enough that you can see things. There's your little sneak peek. All right, let me undo my external speaker because you guys don't need that anymore. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, there's your sneak peek. I'm going to take everything out of here so you guys can't see all of it too fast, too soon. But last week, I let you guys pick which bundle you wanted me to showcase. And all of you, well, most of you, unanimously said you wanted me to focus in on the turtles. Let me adjust my camera here. I think it's a little crooked. There we go. Don't like a crooked camera. And so I thought it was only going to be fair to then still showcase the Hats Off bundle, since I had a good handful of you that really wanted me to showcase this one as well. Now, the Hats Off bundle, I think, is also an amazing bundle. It's only $35 in the catalog. And it's the stamp set and coordinating dies. Now the stamp set is great for many different occasions. You can use it for Father's Day. You can use it for juvenile birthday. Seeing this little Cub Scout, it reminds me of Boy Scouts, like Cub Scouts right here. You can use it for retirement, camping, so many different things that you can use the stamp set for. When I first saw it in the catalog, I did not think I would need it, nor did I think that I would like it. And I'm here to tell you, I have had a ton of fun with this stamp set so far. The coordinating dies are just as awesome. So the coordinating dies allow you to cut out the hat. So here's the hat die. And then you have dies for all of these little shapes. So you can use them just to cut out solids. You can use them to cut out, stamp the greeting or the sentiment and then cut them out. And then the other thing that I thought was pretty cool is that you have this other real little hat in here, and you'll see how I use that here in just a couple of minutes. Now there is no stamp that coordinates with that one. But then you have all these little pieces. So these right here fit inside of the little pieces if you want like a stitched edging. And then you have like a fish, a star, a buffalo, a tree, if you wanted to cut those out to put in the middle of the hats as well. So lots of possibilities of things that you can do with this stamp set. So the first one I'm going to showcase for you is the 3D project with the Gumballs. So like I said, I was trying to think of something fun. Now this project would be great if you have kids that are in softball or baseball, because 'tis the season right now, right? So I created this fun little project right here that is perfect to give like your teammates. Now you could incorporate any colors that you would like to. If your team is certain, has red and black, or if your team is yellow and orange, or whichever, you could incorporate many different colors into making this whatever color that you wanted. Now one of the things that I focused on when I created my projects tonight is no laughing at me, because you guys are going to hear a funny story. But I was buying all of the designer series paper for my in color club. So I have an in color club, and if it's too late to get in at this time, it's full. But if you're interested in my in color club, let me know in the future what it is. I'll probably run a second one later on in the year. But basically, it's 5 people that get a little bit of all the in color stuff over the course of 5 months. So I thought that I purchased the new in color designer series paper. No, Kim instead bought 5 packs of the in colors that were the in colors from last year. So that was a big oops, right? So I'm like, what am I going to use this for? And so I chose to use this designer series paper for most of the projects you're going to be seeing featured tonight. And they worked out great because I was able to put many different colors from these together, and it just worked out really, really nice. The other product that I chose to use to coordinate with it are the 2022 in color square gems. And let me get them out of the package. These gems are so cool. I love the little sparkle and shine to them. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm going to bring them in on the camera so you can kind of see the sparkle and shine to them. They have a really neat little, in the middle of them, a little sparkle to them. So I chose to use them on most of, big oops, Beth, you got that right. So I chose to use those since they coordinated with it as well. So anyway, this is the new designer series paper. Now this paper comes in all of the different, it comes in the 2 in color collections. And you can also get this designer series paper in the color families. So you can get it in the brights, the bold, or brights, not bolds, the brights, the regals, the subtles, or the neutrals. And these are the different patterns that you have. So you have this one with the little circles on it. On the back is that one. And then you have this one right here with that. And so you kind of can mix and match it and use it any way that you would like. So when there's a will, there's a way. You have to just improvise and figure out how you're going to use it in a different way. So I got creative with it with this product suite. So for this right here, I chose to simply use, let me bring in my products here that I used. I chose to simply use, and I've been using our clear envelopes a lot for 3D projects. Now we do sell cellophane bags, but I don't know, I find that these work just as nice, and I threw some gumballs in there. Now since these are little, when I make these, I won't use my hands, but tonight I'm gonna use my hands, and I'm just gonna throw some of those gumballs that I showed you inside of here. So you can put as many or a little or as lot, as many as you want. I have a lot of them, so I was, you guys saw the bag earlier. So I put like 9 or 10 of those in here. Anyway, so however many that you want. And then all I did was tear that off and I'm going to lay it down, and I'm just going to kind of have that be nice and flat, get the air out, and I'm just going to bring this down over top. Now I'm going to cover that up with the tag topper, so you're not going to be able to even see where that is glued down together, okay? So, but I think these envelopes work amazingly well for being able to do projects like this. So again, this would be a really cute idea for, you know, grandsons or your, you know, softball. You could pick out all the yellow and do softball. You could pick out the white and just do baseball. You could kind of get creative with it, however you'd like to do that. So from there, I decided to just make a simple little tag topper for this. So what I did is I measured the size of this, and I ended up going with the width of this being 4 3/4, and then by 4. So all I did was score this at 2. So it's 4 3/4 by 2, or by 4, scored it at 2. And that's just gonna kind of sit on top of here and kind of cover up all that stuff. Isn't that pretty cool? So again, if you have different bags that you choose to use, you can just, again, measure this and make it just about maybe 1/4 inch wider on each side. Okay, so again, if you're gonna try to do something with our clear bags, this is 4 3/4 by 4, and on the 4-inch side, I scored it at 2, so it's a perfect little like tent. Okay, and then I put this on here and I stuck that all the way in there, so that way I had not much space showing down here. And I'm going to use, now this is a retired stapler. I wish Stampin' Up! Would come back out with a stapler because I think it's awesome. But you can get mini staplers wherever that you would like to get them. I just love the mini stapler. And I like to staple it first before I decorate it. So you can see that there are staples on the back, but you're not going to see them on the front because we're going to cover them up. So then, since this right here is 4 3/4 by 2, I did 4 1/2 by 1 3/4, so it's a little bit smaller to fit on there, and that I'm going to adhere down to the top of the bag topper here. And then I used a piece of designer series paper. I chose to use the yellow just to kind of coordinate with my color themes for my projects tonight. And this is then cut 1 1/2 by 4 1/2, I believe. So it keeps going in 1/4 inch. Thank you, Shireen and Beth. I thought it was kind of a cute project as well. And that's just gonna go on top of here. So you have all those little layering. Again, layers make it awesome. And then I used the layering circles, and I just cut out one of our circles. And I just looked for one that was big enough to fit the little hat on, because the little hat to me got a little lost on here without having any kind of a background or a thing behind it. So I'm just gonna take out my dimensionals, and I'm just gonna put this onto my project here. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I put a dimensional on the hat, and I'm gonna stick that on here. And then I stamped "You're the Best." So I have a little piece here of my scrap. Let me find my inks, get my inks out of the way. So this is my Misty Moonlight, and one of the stamps from the stamp set is called "You're the Best." So we are just going to stamp this up, ink it on there, and then I just cut a little banner into this. So you can see it's not even straight, but that's okay because no one's gonna see that. I'm gonna cut my little banner. Voila. And then a couple dimensionals on that as well. And you have a completed cute little project that says, and I just kind of stuck this underneath here a little bit. Make sure it's on there straight, not off-centered like I have it. "You're the best." How cute is that? So again, another neat way of using up those little clear envelopes. The clear envelopes, you can purchase them for, I think they're like $5 or $6 for like 50 of them, or maybe it's 100, I forget. But they're such a great way to add. You can even put like cookies in there or anything like that. But wouldn't it be fun to like coordinate these with the colors of the like, you know, when my daughter did softball, she doesn't anymore, but when she did softball, you know, her shirt was usually like, you know, gray and red, or black and white and yellow. They usually had a color scheme for whoever they were representing. And so I just thought those would be really cute to do the same thing with, and make them kind of you know, be for whatever color, and that could be a cute little thing to give, you know, their teammates and things like that. Coaches as well, all that good stuff. So anyway, that is our first little project. So this is one of the projects that, and anybody who puts in a minimum $30 order, you'll receive this in the mail already completed, because it'll be in my padded envelopes, my pink Happy Mail. So I know that it'll make its way to you just fine. They're actually quite tasty gumballs because I've been munching on them. Those of you, like I said, that saw the beginning of my video, you know that I have a whole huge bag of them here. So anyway, there's cute little project number 1. Okay. I'm moving the gumballs out of the way because the last thing I want, thank you, Terry and Terry, both Terrys. I'm moving my gumballs out of the way because I do not need a catastrophe to happen where I spill all of them, because that would so be my luck and you'd hear them just go down my concrete floor here. Okay, so let me find the supplies here for my next card. So that was one of them that I whipped up quickly last night. Here is another one that I whipped up quickly last night. Now, I was inspired by another demonstrator to make this project, or to make one similar. She did one that was a little bit different, but I love this easel card. So those of you that watch me pretty regularly, you know that I do the 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 and the 4 by 3 paper quite often. It is a staple in my designing because it's a really good use of the 12 by 12 designer series paper. So this time I decided to make an easel card with it. So basically your card stack is the same size. It's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, but our scoring is going to be a little bit different. And then when they get the card, they can display it on their mantle, on their shelf, on their TV, whatever, like this. And it will stay, because I have this little hat right here on a method dimensional, so it will stay like that. But the neat thing is when you go to mail it, it will lay flat and go in a regular size envelope. Isn't that amazing? So let me give you some simple directions on how I did this. Now I will also post the directions for this card in the description of my video. And I don't know if you've been noticing, I also do a blog post on Friday as a recap of all my Facebook Live projects. And I've been putting all of my dimensions in there, trying to become a little bit more consistent with my blog posting in all my spare time. I say that jokingly because I'm telling you, I'm crazy busy with everything that we do, but I love it, wouldn't have it any other way. But I am trying to become a little bit more consistent with my blog, so make sure you go out and follow it at kimsbasementbunch.com. So this is the card right here. It's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I scored it at 4 1/4, so I scored it where I normally would. So the first score line is going to score it in half, just as if you were making a regular card, okay? Very, very simple. And then what you're going to do is you're going to score it again at the 2 1/8. 2 1/8 is half of this perfectly. So that way it gives you that second little line for you to be able to make it into an easel card. You see that? Now you're going to want to make sure that you get these, I don't have a bone folder handy, but I did when I made my sample. You're going to want to make sure that you get these scores really, really good, because you need them to be scored good to be able to, oh Sarah, you can so make this card. It's so simple. But that's kind of the gist of it. And then what helps it stay up is the little hook here, the little thingy that I put. So with that, let's do some adhering of things together. So I have here, let me put the card base to the side. So this is 4 by 3. This is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. Let me bring the card in so you guys can see. Let me scooch my chair down a little bit. That way you guys can see the card while I'm making it. So I'm just going to adhere these two together. Thank you, everyone. I love this card too. And it's one of those that I'm like, why haven't I made more like this? It totally follows the pattern that I do a lot. So anyway, and what you're going to do, the only thing that you're going to do different is you're going to adhere this down just to the top part of this, or the bottom part of this to the top part of here. So you're not going to adhere the whole thing down. So I like to put my adhesive on here. I'm going to make 2 rows of adhesive, and then I'm going to just adhere this down, and I'm going to center it down here. So I'm just going to lay it flat, and I'm going to center it. And I'm just going to adhere that down so that way it's not glued all the way down to the card. Okay? And then what I did is inside here, I put a yellow strip, and this is the designer paper. This is Bumblebee, that's Misty Moonlight. And so I'm just going to adhere this down. This is just for a little bit of decoration. So when the card is up at an easel, it's got a little bit more color to it. I thought it looked kind of nice. So I'm just going to put this down here like that. Oops, I can see I cut that a little short, but it was supposed to be 5.5. And then I cut out in advance one of those awesome hats. Now, this hat, I gotta tell you the little secret. Let me make this one flat so you can see it for a minute. So this is just the hat, simply what I did. I stamped it onto Bumblebee cardstock. Did this in advance to save a little bit of time, but I stamped it using the Memento black ink onto regular Bumblebee cardstock, ran it through the Stampin' Boss die cut machine, and all of these awesome little lines literally come right from that die. Okay, now what I wanted to do to make the hat look a little bit more realistic, and this is the tip that I found from another demonstrator on a demonstrator Facebook group that I'm part of. She folded up the brim and then didn't adhere that part down. It'll still lay flat to be able to adhere or go through the mail, but it makes the hat look a little bit more realistic. And there's a line right here that is got the little stitched edging in. So all I'm gonna do is fold up on that stitched edging, and look how realistic it makes that hat come to life. Then when I adhere this down, I'm only gonna put dimensionals onto the actual hat part and not the brim. And that is kind of how it makes it look so real. Isn't that cool? I love this. When I made this card, my friend Jen saw it. She had stopped in last night to get a few things, and she says, oh my gosh, I have to make one of those to give to my dad for Father's Day because he always wears a hat. And I said, don't make it, you can just take one of these. So anyway, but she liked it too, so I think it's a pretty cool thing. Then I stamped in advance the dad, and then cut this out. So this again is just part of the stamp set. So here you have it right here, it's dad, and I cut it out with one of those dies that coordinated. And I'm just gonna use one dimensional on this, I think. And then that's gonna go on here. And then I also in advance stamped the I'm Your #1 Fan. That's also just part of the stamp set. And then we had that round die that I cut it out with, and putting that on with a dimensional. So again, such a simple card, but doesn't it just look awesome? I just think it looks so awesome. So in that, oops, I should have put this up a little bit higher. So let me, oh, that's okay. We're gonna move this one up here instead of putting it in the bottom. We're gonna improvise because I should have put that up a little bit higher. And then an awesome improvisation. And then to kind of keep this so that it will stay up, we're going to put that little hat on there. So I cut out the hat in blue. This is the Misty Moonlight. And you have to put this on with a dimensional because that is what keeps this up and makes it stay as an easel. Otherwise, you don't have the easel component totally built in there. But by doing that, see, it makes it stay up. And then you have cute, cute, cute easel card that will lay flat, that you can easily send in the mail. So you may have to give a little bit of instruction when you can also sign it up in here as well. So you have lots of room to sign, and then that can still be private if they want to display it. You right up in the top, your little message to your dad or to whomever can be private while they have it displayed for everyone to see your beautiful, beautiful work. So anyway, I thought that was a really cute project, and I just had to whip that one together and showcase it. So again, it's your typical cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored it 4 1/4. And then what I did is I just put this in at the 2 1/8 and scored it right down the middle. And then you just don't, I glue that all down. Quick and simple and a beautiful, easy, easy card. Okay, so then, hope you guys like that one. So then I wanted to incorporate this using, and I'm just going to show you a couple more cards, I think, because I always think that this hour with you guys goes so fast. But this is one that I designed to make it be a little bit more, if you wanted to use this, like this would be a great one to, if you golfed. It kind of looks like a golf hat, like somebody who, like a female golfer or something. So I tried to come up with a way that you could use this card to have it be not just for a masculine set, again, to show you the versatility of what you can do. And for some reason, I am in love with this color combination. I love the Misty Moonlight paired with the Magenta Madness. And one of you commented on my nails. Thank you so much. Yeah, bright orange is not usually what I do, but I said to do whatever he wanted, and this is what I got. So I like it. It's different though. So I used Misty Moonlight for my card base on this one. And then I used the mat of 5 1/4 by 4 for the card mat here. And then, or layer, I should say, I have Whisper White that is 5 by 3 3/4. So we're going to do some stamping on that. And then I have 2 different layers. One, I believe this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 and 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. And what I did, so again, a little tip, when you're designing cards and you're wondering how big to make something, I simply measured this hat. And from there, after I measured the hat, I made the piece of white underneath of it just a hair big, you know, the next 1/4 of an inch, the size that this would fit on. And then I made the blue a 1/4 of an inch bigger. So don't be afraid to take your ruler out and actually measure this to see exactly what you need to do for what size the layers need to be underneath, okay? So again, on these cards, I used absolutely no ribbon, and I'm gonna take my luck at stamping after I put it all together. Normally I stamp first before I put it together in case I screw up. So now I'm probably gonna jinx myself. But yeah, that's good too, Nancy. This could definitely be used for that. As I'm thinking of you for me. Get that nice and okay. So I'm just gonna layer that on here, and then these 2 are going to get. And sorry about that, you guys, if there was a pause. My phone was ringing, and I'm sure it was from the school telling me that tomorrow's the last day and yada yada yada. So I had to quickly hit decline on that. Okay, so then that is going to glue onto the top up there. Now this one I laid the hat down just regular, but if you wanted to make this one a little bit more 3D, you could fold that as well. Look how pretty that is. Just gives it a little bit more dimension. And I'm going to put that on there with a couple of dimensionals as well. So this one I will leave up like that. And then I did the number 1, and I did it in the blue, again, to kind of coordinate, everything to coordinate and look really cool. I agree, Janet. I love these colors together. I think they just pop. It's one of my new favorite color combinations. I made an Easter card. I'm not sure if any of you saw it on my Facebook or on my YouTube channel, but I did an Easter card with this combination, and I fell in love with it. So on this one, I chose to use one of the little magenta squares, and I'm just going to stick that on here like that. Just a little decoration. And then using the Misty Moonlight ink, I'm going to stamp You're the Best down here on the bottom. So again, nothing too hard with these cards at all. I didn't use any ribbon, anything fancy. It's all just you cutting out those hats and making them look pretty. So again, I used the Designer Series paper to cut the hat, and I still use the black Memento ink. I found that the black Memento ink just really kind of made those hats pop. So I kind of stuck with that for the main, the actual hat. And then one of the stamps in this stamp set, you have a little star right here. And so I just decided to kind of fill in some space, to just stamp some little magenta. So this is where I'm hoping I don't make a mess, because, you know, usually I do all of my stamping before I would assemble it. But you get the idea. You're just going to do some little stamping of the stars. I'm going to move that and put that down so that I don't get ink on it. Okay, I'm not going to jinx myself yet, but I think I'm doing pretty good. All right, good enough, because I don't want to mess it up. Woo! So you could stamp a lot or a little, depending on how many stars you want on that. But there you have, again, a cute, simple card. Not hard at all, that you can make for... you know, again, this one I glued directly down, so this one's got dimensionals on it. This one I didn't, so you had that little bit of depth there if you would like that as well. So let's see, I think I do have time for one more card. So let me see here which one we're going to do. Which one do I want to do? I really, really like, oh, let's see here. Which one? We'll do this one. So most of you know that my dad passed away a few years back, but I used to be his fishing buddy, and so even though I can't give him a card for Father's Day, this card I kind of made thinking of him because I put the fish on the hat. And so I'm going to choose to make this one right here. So for this one, I chose, again, keeping with all those in colors that are in that designer series paper, I used the cinnamon cider. And I have normal card size here, 5.5 by 8.5. And then I did a layer of Whisper White of the 5.25 by 4. And then I did a layer, well, I should have done a layer, but I didn't. So let me see if I can cut one real quick. I don't have my green, bear with me. I don't have my green piece right here. So we may have to change it and make it a different color. We're gonna make it yellow. So we're gonna improvise and make it yellow. Let me grab my trimmer real quick. So this is what happens when you're live. Sometimes you forget to cut things. So it's not going to all match and be all green, but it'll still be pretty. So this is going to be 5 by 3 3/4. So I'm just going to cut it at 5 by 3 3/4. And there's my piece that we're going to use for this card. So it's going to fit on here. We're just going to have a yellow background instead of a green one. So same thing, I'm just going to adhere all these layers together. Thank you, Beth. Yeah, I used to fish with him. We used to go ice fishing. One of his buddies had a boat, and so we used to go. My brother never liked to fish, and I loved it. So I always got to go fishing, and it wasn't like we went a lot, but on the rare occasions that he quit, because my dad was a farmer, so he was pretty much on that farm all the time. But when he wasn't, and we had times to go fishing, it was awesome. So now these two squares are the exact same size as the previous one. I just kept the same size since I knew that the hat would fit on there. So in this, I ran through the embossing folder with the cobble, the stone looking embossing folder, just to add a little bit of texture to this piece. And you can see here, I'll bring it in. It gives it a little bit of a different look. And then I'm going to adhere this down. So that is one of the things when you use colors that all kind of go together. It doesn't matter if you change it out, it's still going to look really nice. I think anyway. So I'm going to put the green hat on here, and this time I'm going to put the whole thing on with dimensionals. So I'm going to put 2 here and just add 1 down there. Oops. Okay, and so this one we're not gonna fold up. We're just gonna put it on there. And then I cut out one of those little pieces. Now this is just cut out. I did no stamping on that. And my card, I did not put it on with the dimensional, but this time I'm gonna put it on with a dimensional. Because why not? And then you have the little itty bitty fish. Look how cute it is. So I'm going to use, I should use a mini dimensional, but I never have mini dimensionals at my table. So I make my own mini dimensional by cutting the edge really small. Again, I use all of my dimensionals, so I don't feel weird doing that. Kind of call myself a pretty simple stamper when it comes to that. And I'm going to put that right in the middle. And then on this one, I already stamped my Here's to the Next Adventure. So I'm going to cut that off. Cut a little banner into this one. I'm just going to cut a little banner in. And then put some dimensionals on this. So I'd love your vote. Do you like it better with the yellow or better with the green paper? But like I said, again, when you use a color combination, like the in colors or, just changing it up by one little color, it really doesn't make it look too much, it just gives it a little bit of a different look. And then I topped it off with some of the squares. So this time I'm going to use a couple of the yellow ones since I used yellow paper. So just going to change it up a little bit. Put a yellow one down there, and then a smaller yellow one. Whoa, that one didn't stick. Oops, didn't even know that was on my finger. There we go. Oh, there's no, do you ever do that and the backing stays with it? Yeah, so I'll put that adhesive back on that one later. Okay, here we go. So that one I'm just gonna stick on there. And then the little yellow one, I'm going to put down further. And you can make them straight with your fingers or whatever. And then I added a couple down here as well. So, yeah, I think they both look good too, Janet. Just a little bit of a different take with the yellow, but a good improvisation because there's no more green in my paper pack. So anyway, again, another quick, simple card using the same kind of template. So let me show you the other ones that I made. So this is where I kind of was thinking of my son when he was in Boy Scouts. My son actually made it all the way to Eagle Scout, which has served him well. But, you know, I was trying to remember what color his uniform was when he was in like Cub Scout. I think it was yellow and gold. I mean, gold and blue. But this would be a cute card like to make for Cub Scouts if you have Cub Scouts or people that are moving up to the different levels or whatever. So I just think that's a cute one as well. And then this is one that I made as a dad card. And then this one is just a You're the Best. This one I thought would be great for coaches or, oh, I even got blue ink on there, but for coaches or even like for juvenile birthday if you have kids that you wear hats and things like that. I don't know, I just love this bundle. Like I said, the more I played with it, the more fun I had, the more I enjoyed it. I didn't think I needed it. And then I'm like, I need it, and I love it. So let me bring in my projects again for you to be able to see all of them. I know that we only made a few of them, but I really wanted to showcase the Easel Card, which I think most of you loved, and then the awesome little idea for Gumballs and things like that. So again, my ordering incentive is anybody who puts in a minimum $30 order. Now through Sunday night, you'll receive an Easel Card already done. So you'll get one already completed. You'll get this awesome little make and take, or Gumballs, and then you'll get a couple additional cards that I have created as well. So you'll get whatever I have left and whatever's available. But this is also a class that I'm offering, minus these two right here. But there's a class that's currently out there for anybody. Everything is cut. You have the option of purchasing the bundle so that you can do your stamping of your hats. You'll have pieces of paper and everything there for you to be able to assemble these cards. I think it also includes the paper, so I cut the paper out of your half a pack. It includes these awesome little gems. So if it's something that you're interested in, let me know. I do have a couple kits left for this. And again, check out my website for all of the dimensions. I'll post them here in the description of the video as well. But I've been doing a recap on Fridays of my Facebook Live projects for you to be able to see for use for later. So anyway, thank you all so very much for joining in. I'm not sure what my Facebook Live will be yet for Thursday. I like to surprise you, but I will post it usually on Monday or Tuesday of the week is usually when I post it. I know I've got it already figured out, but I don't know off the top of my head what it is. So anyway, thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your evening, your afternoon to join me, and I look forward to seeing you all back here soon. One more thing I wanted to mention, I'm going to be adding an additional Facebook Live once a month here on my page, and it is going to be, Claire actually named it, it's called Monthly Kits with Kim. We have a new kit collection that just started on Monday, and I'll be showcasing one kit a month to kind of show you what our kits are like and how awesome they are for new people, for gifts, for all different things that you can think of. So hopefully some of you are able to join me. I'll be doing that for the first time this coming Monday, June 7th, and I'll be posting more about it in both my page and my group over the weekend. Thank you all so very much for joining me. I hope you had a great evening, have a great weekend, and see you back here soon. Bye, everyone.